I am sorry that I've been running late today. Uh, I don't really have any good excuses, but I worked late last night and didn't get to sleep until probably 3 o'clock in the morning, so I ended up sleeping in today. Um, Not good, but it is what it is, and now I'm going to have to deal with it. All right, so I think today we're going to work on a 30-minute timer, and it'll be the nature one that I usually pop up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this new stream. So I need to gather myself, have a little bit more coffee, etc. Okay. So let's see. Let's remember how to do this. There it goes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and choose music. I'm going to go with chill. So we can get to writing. Okay. All right. Okay, people. That sprint is over. And it has inspired me. I feel like during my little break, I gotta turn this music off for a second. One moment. That is the one thing I always forget to do is turn the music off. So during that sprint, I was trying to decide where my character was going because at the scene that I left last time, she was with her aunt Bethany they were in a hospital, and her aunt Bethany was warning her that, if she doesn't stop the path that she's on, she's going to be attacked. And then her cousin will get in the middle of it and get injured. So I think I need to figure out how to go from there. But I think planning is all about, I don't know, knowing where you want to go. You have to have some kind of a plan, though, and write it down. I can't believe it's already September, and I don't know if anyone else is aware of it, but HB90 system, that's a Sarah Cannon thing from Heart Breathings, and she's got this program that's really, really good, and it's starting again very soon. I've been a member of it for several years, and I've done it a lot. I have a Kanban board right over there. You can't see it because of the angle of the camera and stuff, but I probably could lift that up and show you, but I think you'd still have a fuzzy background, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, but that's starting again next weekend, I think, is the kickoff call, maybe, or maybe it's open for enrollment right now. I'm confused about the rest of it. I'll figure that out the next time that we do the stream or the sprint, the next sprint. But I need to figure out what to do with my character now. I'm not sure what I would do in a situation like that. Would I believe my aunt? And would I try to do something to stop it? Or would I just be like, oh, brush it off. That can't be real. She doesn't know what the heck she's talking about. And I think I may have to go the latter route for now until, it becomes obvious that Aunt Bethany did know what she was talking about, because it's happening right now and I have to figure out a way to stop it now. So, that's why I love writing so much, is because you can come up with all these stories and, it's only you. And then you get to let people read them, and you can tell by their reactions whether they like it or not, whether that may be good or bad. But I remember when I was very young, I think I must have been in high school. I used to have little notebooks from school, and I used to write scenes, basically. They weren't like full paragraphs or anything like that. And that wasn't like a fully fledged story, but I used to write little scenes. And there was one scene that I wrote where a couple were in an accident of some sort, and the guy was in the hospital in a coma, and the girl was talking to him, and I don't know if he could hear or not, because people that are unconscious maybe can't hear, or maybe can, I don't even know. But I think what I said in there was something about her love for him, and do you remember when, and I can't believe that this could be happening, and all that kind of crap. And my sister, Tina, read it, and she cried. I made her cry with my story. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Not that she cried, but because what I wrote made her cry. So that was when I was hooked. That's when I wanted to do something more than just write little scenes. But, it took me 50 years to get there. And that's only a slight exaggeration. So this is never too late to get started on something like this. A lot of people start at ages 50 and over. I mean, and I don't know if they could be writing any young adult stuff, but, adult, well, they could probably write young adult. I just don't think I could, because it's just not the thing that I have. I could write adolescent people, but not as the main story point. I could do them as like a side character. If that makes sense. Although I do remember being young, and I do remember how naive you are at that age and how you think that everything that happens to you is going to last forever. And of course, it never does. You know, you grow up and you learn that these things change all the time. And, but when you're a teenager, everything seems so permanent. And you can't wait to grow up and you can't wait to be able to do this and that. And, you know, and if you don't get there when, you know, you're a certain age, then your life is basically over. And that's not true, of course, but most young people do think that way. So I feel like it would be easy for me to write a young character in a book. And that could be like a subplot. It could be not. I'd have to consider this one. I could add a character in that might be like a very young niece and nephew, like a great niece and nephew. I'd be the great, or the character would be the great aunt. Oh, never mind. All right. Well, I've been chatting long enough. Let's get ready to do another sprint. And put the time back on the clock. And I'm going to mute it this time. All right. And this time, let's see, what music do I want to listen to? I'm going to go for the chill hop. I don't know why, but I always just kind of enjoyed that. Okay. And mute and play. Okay. Back in 30. Okay, it looks like that is over. So we have a few minutes to give a chat. I don't think I got too many words at that time. Let's see. From the beginning, it was like only 172 words. It's not very good for, being what I was, but I should be able to get more out of it. But I think I'm like really distracted today. I didn't prepare for this one too much because I slept in, slept late, basically, not in, just really late. Yesterday, when I was leaving work, it was around 5 o'clock, well, a little after. But the sun was kind of, mm, it wasn't high in the sky, but it was at a good angle for some reason. Okay, I was driving home, and on the side of the road, they have these little cattails, like they're weeds basically, but they're little cattails that were just like blowing around in the wind, and the sun was hitting them just right, and it looked so pretty. And I really wished I had my camera with me. I'd stop and take a picture of it, but I know that you'd probably have to see what I was talking about before you can appreciate that, but it would have been a really, really nice picture. But I would have had to have gotten pretty low to the ground with the camera. And then I think the hillside beyond it would have been very cluttered. I'd have to put some kind of distance between the weeds and, the background. It would have been nice though. I feel like sometimes in the morning when I wake up, they have some fog hanging around too on the way to work. And I feel like if I woke up early one morning, I feel like in order for there to be fog, there'd have to be some kind of moisture in the air. And it would have been nice to go out and take pictures. I'm not just a writer, I like photography too. So I think one day, since Monday is a holiday, Monday is Labor Day here in the US. I think I might wake up early that day and find a place to take some pictures. Um, I'm not really sure of what. I live in the middle of the country, so there's not too many really fantastical mountains near me. Um, I think Missouri is right next door, and they have Mark Twain Forest, which is not really considered mountains. They're more like rolling hills. Because I think they used to be mountains like many, many millions of years ago, but I think they've kind of crumbled a lot. I don't know how that works, but it was really pretty though if you go over there. There are some sections over in Missouri that are really, really hilly and they seem like they're mountainous, but whenever you see a real mountain, you kind of remember those things are just rolling hills. They're not mountains. I'm talking smack about the mountains. Okay. So I think I might do that, take pictures sometime. And I think that would probably help me to get more inspired. I need to get out more. I need to do stuff that are not going to work because I need to get some alone time too. It's so weird because whenever I was living in Arizona for 8 years, right? And my family all lived here, so I never got to see them. And then COVID happened, and I went from working in an office to working at home for 2 years. And when I was in Arizona, I didn't see anybody because all of my family were here. And I didn't really have a lot of friends at that time because, well, who did during COVID? And so I was all alone for like 2 years basically. And I got fed up with that and I decided to come back home. I quit the job, sold my house, and moved back. And now that I'm home, I've spent a lot of time with the family, but now it's like nobody has time for anything. Like the problem is I want to go out and I want to explore. I want to like hike and take pictures and all that kind of stuff. And my family, my mom and dad are too old for it, for one thing, because they couldn't walk around like that anymore. My sister Tina, she's not in the best health, and she's the same way. We, like last year, before it got really hot, earlier this year, I guess I should say, we used to go to walk in parks and stuff like that, and it was nice until it got too hot. Then we stopped. But we even bought walking sticks. I mean, how cool is that? Really. But now no one has time for anything. I have another sister, Sandy, who lives out. She's probably got a 30-minute drive away. But she always says she wants to hang out and do walks and stuff with us too, but never ever happens. We schedule these things and they cancel them. And so I'm like, I'm just going to start doing stuff on myself again. How sad is that? That's pretty sad. I need to find some people in this area that have the same interests as me, like photography or writing. I mean, I can do this all the time, write on, a computer. But I think it would be more fulfilling for me and make me happier if I found a group of writers out there in my area that I could get together with. And I know they have this thing called meetup.com. And I did a lot of that when I was back in Arizona. But here, I live across the river from St. Louis, Missouri. And there's not a lot of people on this side of the river that do stuff like that. Most of the things that I found were over in St. Louis, and I don't want to drive to St. Louis to do this. So unless I create my own writing thing here, it's definitely a possibility. Because I know that whenever I was in Arizona, there was a group that was started by a girl named Jen. And she, how do I put it? She started a romance writing group of Chandler, Arizona. And I joined that, and it was really cool. And I feel like they taught me a lot more than I could teach them, because I was like a brand new at writing. I didn't know the rules. I didn't know that there was actually structure to writing. I didn't know anything. And those poor girls, they taught me a lot of stuff. But yeah, I was never prepared for that kind of stuff. But I think Jen pretty much started the group so she could let other people review her work. Because during the sessions, we would all bring a story, like a chapter or something like that, and we'd read it out loud. Or somebody else would read it out loud, or whoever. But it was pretty much a critique group. So they read it, and then they talked about it and gave us advice. And that was the part that I could never do, is they were all such good writers that I couldn't give them any feedback on it, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And they were all so much better than me. And I feel like if I found a group, I would have to find a group of people that were at the same level as me. I feel like I was always below par over there with my own work, of course. But something like that would be good, because if I, when I finish the story and need to get it critiqued, or I'd have to find beta readers too. But a critique group could work as beta readers. But they would only get like one chapter at a time, and beta readers would probably get the whole book. So, but I still need to finish the book. Then I need to edit it once for myself, look through it, make sure everything seems normal, makes sense, lines up correctly. I think what's it called? Developmental edits. Those are the hardest. Those are the ones that are the most complicated, because you have to make sure that everything lines up perfectly. Like if you bring up something in chapter 3 that's like a clue of some sort, you have to make sure that to follow through with the clues toward the end. Breadcrumbs, clues, red herrings, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started on another sprint. I am going to do, let's see, what time is it? Almost 2:30 here. I think I've done 2 sprints. I did start late. I started probably like 7 minutes late or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and make this one a 20-minute sprint. Let's see. Okay. What kind of music do I want to listen to this time? Let's go with ambient. Yeah. Actually, no, let's not do ambient. Let's do ambient. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started. 20 minutes on the clock. And I'm going to mute. So good luck, everyone. that. All right. So that may have been the last sprint. I know that the stream was running weird today. I'm not really sure why. I have it going on Facebook and YouTube, so that could be a possible cause, but I'm not really sure. But we still have a few minutes left to chit chat if we want to. And I wanted to let you know that HB90 is starting next week, and that is a Sarah Cannon. What's it called? Her channel, Heart Breathing. It's on Facebook and YouTube, but she has an HB90 program. It's like a productivity course, and I'm going to put the link down here. If you're interested, you can take a look at it. And I think it's helped me a lot, but ultimately it's up to you to do your best to create a plan, to follow through with it. Follow through has always been my downfall when it comes to things like that. And, so I'm going to go ahead. We still have 10 minutes, and I think I have just a few more minutes left in me to write a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and start another sprint for, let's put it at 10 minutes. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then that way we can finish up the page basically. But let's go ahead, do it again. Mute, lounge off. Let's go with ambient this time. There it goes. All right, I'm going to start, mute, and see you back in 10. Oh, hey there. There I am. Sorry, I forgot to switch back over. So I have to figure out why the video was so laggy on that. It might be because I was streaming it to two different sites and it might be something different. I'm not quite sure. But I think I need to work on something and fix it for next time. And I think that I also need to come up with a plan because next Saturday is almost, I don't know how to put it. So the HB90 thing starts next Sunday. So I think I need to have something prepared. I want to print out all the paperwork for the HB90 system and do the pre-course work. I feel like every quarter it's different. I mean, well, the actual words itself is the same, but for me, it's different because whenever I start each quarter, it always feels new. Kind of, it's like a start over mulligan, if you will. So you have another 3 months to get your shit together. It's basically what it is. And I like that feeling. That was always my favorite, like every school year when school would start. I would be standing out there. It would be like the cool, crisp autumn mornings waiting for the bus to come pick me up. And it was always like a sense of starting over, a fresh start. And it was always really exciting because you'd always make those promises to yourself like, okay, you're gonna be really popular this year, or you're gonna you're gonna keep up with the homework and you're gonna get everything right, you're gonna get straight A's, you're gonna be, perfect. And of course, that always falls apart halfway through the year, or maybe not even that far into the year, depending on who you are. So I think it's always good to have a fresh start. And that's just what I'm going to do. So if you guys were so inclined, I put the link in there. If you wanted to check out the HB90 system, you can check it out. It's an affiliate link. So if you do sign up, I probably will get a small portion of something. I don't even know. So I guess I will see you next Saturday, and I will be more prepared because I probably won't stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning driving Uber, which is what I was doing last night. And I made pretty decent money. I only had 3 rides, and I made over $100. And that's pretty darn good for Uber driver. So, all right. I will see you guys next time. And until then, keep riding, keep whatever.